All right, let's jump right into this explainer and deconstruct a pretty fascinating strategy for building automated media brands using AI. We're looking at this rapidly growing corner of the internet that people are calling the Faceless YouTube channel. Today, we're going to unpack the exact playbook and the underlying mechanics outlined by a prominent source in this space. We'll be looking at everything from picking the right niche all the way to the actual nitty-gritty economics that make this whole model tick. So, to really understand why this model is catching fire, we kind of just have to look at the numbers being reported. And wow, they are big. The source creator, Stefan Miro, claims he scaled a brand new, totally faceless channel from absolute zero to a staggering $48,000. And that's in just 30 days. I mean, when numbers like that get attached to a new business model, it naturally draws a massive crowd, right? The promise of insanely high returns for digital real estate is just a huge magnet for creators right now. But here's the real core thesis driving this entire phenomenon. AI tools are making video creation accessible and potentially incredibly profitable for absolute beginners. You don't need a film degree anymore. You don't even need to show your face. And according to the source, you literally don't even need traditional editing skills to launch a brand that pulls in hundreds of thousands of views. It's like the barrier to entry has essentially just evaporated overnight, opening the floodgates for basically anyone with a laptop and an internet connection. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. 1, the faceless AI phenomenon. 2, decoding YouTube economics. 3, winning niche categories. 4, the AI production pipeline. And 5, maximizing channel revenue. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the faceless AI phenomenon. These massive self-reported figures really illustrate exactly why this playbook is getting so much hype. The source notes that their own ongoing channels pull in $30,000 to $40,000 every single month, with some crazy singular outliers generating over $40,000 from just 2 videos. 2 videos. And it's not just the creator themselves. The source asserts that students following this exact playbook are hitting figures like $31,000 in a single month. Now, whether you're a total skeptic or a true believer, we are just impartially reporting the data here, and these are the metrics defining this current faceless AI gold rush. Moving right along to Section 2, decoding YouTube economics. To really wrap our heads around those massive financial claims, you have to realize one absolutely crucial thing. Raw view counts do not tell the whole story. You really need to understand your RPM. RPM, or revenue per mil, is the exact dollar amount a channel earns for every 1,000 views. The source heavily emphasizes using third-party analytics tools like NextLev to actually uncover the RPM of competing channels before you ever even make a single piece of content. Because think about it, if you don't know the RPM of your target audience, you're essentially just flying blind in a highly competitive space. Because, you see, not all views are created equal. A generic, broad video of someone just walking around a city or maybe watching birds might only pull in an RPM of about $2. But a highly targeted pirate documentary channel, like one the source actually analyzed, called Village Rats, that commands an RPM of $6.40. A general history channel hits around $5. So, what does this all mean? It means a highly targeted documentary with just 10,000 views is fundamentally worth way more in automated ad revenue than a broad, generic video with 30,000 views. It's all about capturing a valuable audience, not just a massive one. Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, winning niche categories. Instead of just looking at 20 random isolated channels, the source groups the absolute most lucrative themes where this simple AI-driven content is just crushing it. First up, nostalgia and history. Channels like the History Archive bring in solid $5 RPMs by just combining archival images with AI voiceovers. Next, we've got hyper-niche hobbies. Channels like Only Bike Stuff or Jeep Insider. They might have smaller audiences, sure, but they have incredibly high engagement. Finally, mystery and documentary channels focusing on wild topics like missing pirates or wealth and royalty can drive those RPMs up to 640. The overarching strategy here is pure hyper-specialization to attract premium advertisers who will gladly pay top dollar for a highly defined demographic. And the sheer velocity of this strategy is astounding. New channels are finding real traction within weeks, not years, by strictly sticking to these niche categories. For example, a channel called The Garden, despite being just 3 weeks old, managed to pull in 500,000 views on a single piece of content in just 7 days. No way, right? It really just proves that the algorithm is actively rewarding hyper-specific, brand new content if it hits the exact right viewer demographics right out of the gate. All right, let's get into the how-to with Section 4, the AI production pipeline. So how are they actually making these? Well, this basic three-step digital assembly line is effectively replacing entire wildly expensive production studios. Step 1, generate the script and feed it right into an AI voice generator like GenAPro. Step 2 involves pulling your visual assets, either using AI generation tools like Vidrush AI, or honestly, just compiling basic static images and public domain clips. Step 3 is dropping it all into a beginner-friendly editor like CapCut. The source stresses that these are mechanically super basic. It's essentially just a really well-paced slideshow backed by high-quality AI narration. And to highlight just how incredibly cheap this process is, the source notes you can purchase 1 million AI voiceover credits on GenAPro for just $22. I mean, think about that for a second. Back in the day, hiring a professional voiceover artist for dozens of documentaries would have cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Now, the equivalent of 1 million characters of insanely human-sounding audio is literally the price of a decent lunch. This completely flips the economics of risk for a new creator, allowing for just endless experimentation with virtually zero financial downside. Finally, let's talk about the end game in Section 5, maximizing channel revenue. While that automated AdSense revenue is definitely great, the real secret sauce here is alternative monetization. Sure, you can rely entirely on the algorithm and your RPM, but long-term stability, that lies in back-end revenue. So if you run a channel like Only Bike Stuff, the source highly recommends opening up a drop-shipping store to sell bicycle gadgets directly to those exact viewers. Or for a channel like The Garden, you sell gardening-related digital products. You're capturing this incredibly targeted audience with automated AI content and then selling them highly relevant products. It's a brilliant combo. Maximizing revenue also means maximizing clicks, and that boils down to visual branding. Maintaining absolute consistency in your thumbnail design, almost like a factory assembly line product, is absolutely vital for long-term click-through rates. The source highlights how maintaining repeating patterns, using the exact same font, and sticking to recognizable layouts creates an immediate visual trigger for returning viewers. When someone sees your thumbnail, they should instantly know exactly what kind of quality they're going to get. So, to wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a pretty provocative thought about the complete democratization of digital content creation. What actually happens to the creator economy when the barriers to entry drop to essentially zero? When a 23-year-old with $22 for AI voice credits and a free copy of CapCut can command audiences that literally rival traditional television networks, we are looking at a fundamental shift in how media is produced, scaled, and monetized. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this structured look at the Faceless AI playbook has sparked your curiosity about the future of digital media.